everyone, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. My name is Rishabh Khosla up in the booth. Tonight looks like it's just going to be myself here, but we'll be bringing you all the action to finish off the 2020-2021 Road to Indy Series, brought to you by at Mega Driver 86. We've got a pretty small field here today at the Gateway Road Course. We're going to be racing the USF 2000 cars on the road course with the Pro Mazda, or excuse me, the Indy Pro 2000 cars running on the big oval to finish off this season. So two races here tonight and two different tracks. So there's some extra work for the drivers to handle. Right now we've got qualifying underway, 8 minutes left to go. We're waiting for drivers to start posting laps, but I think a lot of them should be starting their first laps right now. Look out for the power of the draft here. And also, you know, this is a track I personally am not actually super familiar with. It looks like it's a great fun, especially, you know, diving down into turn one. You saw there the guys coming off of the start-finish straight. Then diving into that infield, we have a spinner there. Somebody's around. That's the 317 car of Alexander Vandersland. So he'll have to come back and recover there. Still has some time there. We see there the I think that's the number 95 of Tom Holland there in the Vodafone sponsored that great Vodafone McLaren Mercedes looking car, the chrome looking beautiful on that. Right now, Dylan Christie looks like he'll be the first to post a time. That's one of our Turn 3 Motorsports drivers, professional driver, familiar with this chassis, familiar with this car in real life. And straight away, Dylan Christie goes up to the second position. First place is Trenton Walco right now in the number 61. Chris Wilhite sits in P3 with Tristan Wood in P4. Lap times are pretty quick to what we're looking at here. 56 seconds, 56 and a half seconds is the pole time right now, set by the 61 car of Trenton Walco. We'll have to see if we go much faster than that, but yeah, these guys are going around this road course, this infield road course at the Gateway Motorsports Park fairly quickly. And let's take a quick look at this kind of track information there. You see 8 different corners according to iRacing, just over a mile and a half here. Some pretty significant elevation change, but again, you're working with you know, this infield section, which we don't really talk about a ton when we come to Gateway, especially in the elite racing leagues in the past, where it's been mostly races done on the here. So we'll see that oval race taking place later tonight, but right now we're enjoying this road course. Staying here with Trenton Walco, we'll see how he's able to improve as Simon Sykes, though, now drives up to the top of the timing and scoring sheets. He's going to go for another lap as well right now. 56.429 for the driver of the number 6 car. We'll keep an eye out. Again, just 9 cars here in this field tonight. So again, small field. That race number 2 will be a reverse grid, but assuming he stays out here, we'll head over onto the banking, and we're going to take a lap around this road course here at the Gateway Motorsports Park with Simon. All right, well, we got ourselves cut a little bit short there at the end, but that was almost a full lap around this Gateway Motorsports Park road course here. And it will be Simon Sykes, I believe, on the pole position there. We'll have the cars gridding up fairly soon here, and we'll get ourselves underway for this race number 1. It should be a 20-lap race 1. So again, no more than a 20-minute race for this first one, and then 40 laps for race number 2, taking place on the oval. Here you see the cars gridding up, getting ready to go. We've got a pretty exciting little field here. It's small, but the talent is still quite deep in this field, and still going to be an exciting finish for us to the at Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series. We'll have one full pace lap here by the looks of it before we get going. So while we're waiting for the cars to grid up, we'd be remiss if we didn't get a chance to quickly talk about some of our series sponsors, and I'll talk about one of our premier sponsors for the whole entirety of the Elite Racing Leagues in this 2021 A season that's upcoming. Look out for the IndyCar series as well. But C2 Freight Resources, they offer complete freight management services and ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. Thousands of qualified carriers in their database. They're capable of handling shipping for every type of good, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment to make sure that you are able to fulfill all of your freight requirements. Check out C2 Freight Resources for more information there. We've got the cars rolling, and there you see, once again, just a fairly small grid tonight. But again, expect it to be nice and competitive up front and all throughout. Pace truck should be peeling off at the end of this lap, and we'll get just a clear picture according to timing and scoring before that gets reset nicely there. We'll take a look and see. It should be Simon Sykes. There you can see Simon Sykes, Trenton Walco are your front row there, with the number 4 of Dylan Christie lining up alongside the 317 of Alexander Van Der Sant. Row 3 is Chad Frankenfield lining up alongside the 25 car, the 25 car of Marshall Stanley, with the following row being Chris Wilhite and the 03 of Tristan Wood, and Tom Holland will make up the back of the field there. Unable to get a lap time in at the very end, though. It's going to be Simon Sykes who will lead this field to the green flag. The pace truck's going to be peeling off here in just a second. We'll be getting ready to finish off this 2020-2021 Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series. Simon Sykes is going to hit the gas pedal, and we are underway here at Gateway Road Course. The green flag is waving, and a great jump already for the number 6 car. Into turn 1, you can see the competition that Trenton Walco is already dealing with as Dylan Christie looks to the inside. He's on that inside line, that preferred line, but Trenton Walco is going to have the run on the outside here. Side by side, they stay there. Coming off of turn 2, and it's Walco who stays in second place with a great move around the outside. Dylan Christie gets up on those curbs, though, and I mean, these are pretty high curbs for these cars, and we saw just how quickly they upset that 4 car. He's now slightly under attack now by the 15 car of Chad Frankenfield. Up front, Simon Sykes still leads the way as we're getting ready already to complete this first lap. And right now it is Trent Walco, Dylan Christie, and Chad Frankenfield fighting it out for that second position. Chad right now, though, has to deal with Marshall Stanley Alexander Van Der Sant in that 317 car right behind him. And let's see the power of the draft here. It's not a very long straight line, but you've got that extra turn 3 and 4 from the oval to help you out, to gain a bit of a draft from the car in front. Not quite close enough to make a move this time around. Right now the field is nicely spread out. This is one of the closer battles we've got on our screens right now, is one between Chad Frankenfield and Alexander Van Der Sant. Just behind them as well, Marshall Stanley and Chris Wilhite are duking it out. That one's spread out a little bit. Look out for this 317, though. Let's see if he can get a good launch off of this, I guess, third to last corner effectively here, if he can get up to the back of Chad Frankenfield. But Chad doing a good job here, getting some good speed in that car and making it difficult for this 317 to draft up to the back of the 15. 2 laps through with this race, and already Simon Sykes 0.9 of a second up in front ahead of Trenton Walco, who in turn is another half a second in front of Dylan Christie. Then a further second back to this battle here between Chad Frankenfield and Alexander Van Der Sant. But Van der Sant has to had fallen back a little bit. Not a great turn one for him. So right now things are pretty close, though. Actually, looks like a brief mistake there by Simon Sykes. Closed the gap up between first and second. And we're seeing it fluctuate just a little bit. It's now gone down to about half a second. Simon Sykes struggling just a little bit on this infield section, maybe losing some traction in the slow speed corners. You see once again Trenton Walco getting closer and closer to the lead battle there, or to the lead car there of Simon Sykes, and Dylan Christie joining in as well. We could be having a three-way fight for this lead very, very soon here between those three drivers. We'll take a look and see just how quickly this all formulates here, as Simon Sykes pulling out a little bit again, but Dylan Christie now tackling Trenton Walco for that second position. They want to make sure that Simon Sykes isn't able to just run away with this quite yet, but already getting ready to complete lap 4 and begin lap 5 of this this fairly short event here on the Gateway Road Course. Back to the field is a little bit spread out, so this is the closest battle you've got here on track between the leader Simon Sykes, the 61 car of Trenton Walco, and the number 4 car of Dylan Christie. Now, of course, this is a free series, and ooh, as we see there, something happened to our. There you go. You've got just this very slow. Ooh, excuse me. I was looking over at the championship standings. Apologies there. As we are getting back to racing, Trenton Walco and Simon Sykes both come together in turn 1 there. Simon Sykes looks to be out of this race, and he is. So your leader is gone, and Dylan Christie now with a dominant lead. Excuse me there. Apologies. Tom Holland a little bit further behind. Tristan Wood still catching up. But yeah, Chris Wilhite, Marshall Stanley, Trenton Walco back on pit road as well. Significant damage on both the two leaders, as now the gap is 2.4 seconds between Dylan Christie in the number 4 car back to second place of Chad Frankenfield. With that, apologies for missing the action there. Looked away for just a second, and so much can happen. One, to look at the season points that we had so far, and it is Marshall Stanley who is your current points leader. He's made all starts so far. Chad Frankenfield, same with him. R.C. Anderson, Chris Wilhite, both probably a little bit too far back to fully take advantage. So the battle we've got on our screen here, Chad Frankenfield right now running in second position with Marshall Stanley in 4th. That's a close one, an important one. Marshall with a 24-point lead over Chad Frankenfield, so it's going to be a big job for Chad to try and overcome that. Marshall Stanley just needs to play it safe and bring home good results, and he should be able to walk away with this championship here tonight. Chad Frankenfield, on the other hand, has to be racing pretty hard to maintain that second position from Alexander Van der Sant. Back underway. This is the closest battle we've got on track. Marshall Stanley, though, closing up pretty reasonably to this group. He's not too far out of touch of Chad Frankenfield and Alexander Van der Sant. Keep an eye out also for Chris Wilhite. He's just a second and a half behind Marshall Stanley, and 3 seconds up the road from this battle. On screen right now is your leader, Dylan Christie. He was involved in that 3-car battle for the lead between himself, Trenton Walco, and Simon Sykes, but both Simon Sykes and Trenton Walco came together in turn 1 and are now out of this race. Already running lap 8 of 15 here. This race goes by quick when you're having fun, and these guys are going fast on this road course. Still no way past for Alexander Van der Sant, but he seems like he's closer on this lap. But Chad Frankenfield able to just get the right line, as you see maybe a little bit deep there for Van der Sant. That's going to hurt his run off of this next corner. Chad Frankenfield gets the run he needs off of the late part of this infield section. That gives him enough of a run to survive all the way through to turn 1 in that section where he's most vulnerable from the draft from this 317 car. For those of you tuning in just now, welcome to the final race of the season in the Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series. We're watching race number 1 here at Gateway. Race number 1 taking place on the road courses. Ooh, we've got a slow car on the side there. That's the number 6 car of Simon Sykes, so he's made it out of pit road. He's going to run around for a couple of laps, but might actually, he's way out of it, unfortunately. 4 laps down already from the leaders. But yeah, we're here on this road course for race number 1, driving the USF 2000 cars, the Indy Pro 2000s. Will be taking on the Gateway Oval right after this race finishes. So that'll be the season finale, the final race for the Road to Indy Series, and we'll be getting ready to kick off the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Indy 500 League. We'll be having a ton of full-distance oval races, as well as some road course tracks that we'll be hitting up. That's always been such a great series. Looking forward to bringing you that action with Mark Gillespie in the booth with myself. Tonight, it is just me. Unfortunately, Mark was unable to make it, but I'm happy to be bringing you guys this action. Still putting on a show for the Elite Racing League, and still putting on a great racing on the Elite Racing Network. What a season it's been so far. We've had some amazing talent join the field as well. We've had the likes of IndyCar driver R.C. Enerson join us, as well as Robert Wickens, Josh Green. You've seen Trenton Walco here on track, Peter Dempsey as well, Robert McGinnis, Indy Lights driver James Davison, IndyCar driver Jackson Lee, son of Kevin Lee, Anders Krohn, Nicholas Yeoman. We've had Stephen Wilson, Nick DeGroot, editor for motorsport.com, Will Power, IndyCar champion and Indy 500 winner, Connor Daly. I'm going through the list right now. I mean, we've had some amazing talent join us for this Road to Indy series as this battle for second is heating up especially. It's been an absolute honor to have them on board, and many of those names will be joining us again for the IndyCar series, as well as for trying to make that Indy 500 a special event. We'll be having the full bump day coverage. We'll be having all of the month of May coverage for you right here on the Elite Racing Networks. So make sure you're subscribed to watch all of that as it goes down. It's going to be such a great season. And of course, we are already kicked off with our Elite Cup Series. The Daytona 500 just finished up on this past Wednesday. Same thing with the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. That 120-lap race at Daytona finished up on Monday, and we'll be having our truck race taking place on Sunday. Here we go, 4 laps to go, and here we go is the move from Alexander Van der Zandt. He's going to go to the outside of Chad Frankenfield. He slides the tires but keeps it in the right direction. The aggression is on here, and Marshall Stanley is joining this fight for second place as Dylan Christie has waltzed away with the lead of this race. Van der Zandt needs to ensure that he's able to get his car to the back of this 15 before they get onto the banking, and he's done just that in this second to last corner in the infield. Let's see how he fares in this final hairpin, and can he get on the power well enough? He's right on the tail of this 15 car. He's going to be able to utilize the draft for sure here. Look out for this 317 car going into turn number 1. He's going to have to go the long way around as Chad Frankenfield hugging that bottom line. Frankenfield, there you see, hugs the wall, but Alexander Van der Zandt will not be deterred. He's side by side with Chad Frankenfield on the outside, heading into turn 1. He's going to miss the corner onto the grass, and Alexander Van der Zandt into the wall there, into the tire barrier, and he's going to break the rear suspension there. That's detrimental for Van der Zandt as Marshall Stanley now slides into third place, and he's going to have his shot at Chad Frankenfield. Van der Zandt might be out of this race from here on out. That car looks pretty irreparable. That rear suspension damage not looking great. Just what happens when you can go a little bit too hot into turn 1, get onto the grass, clip it, and lose so much grip there. Van der Zandt just went straight on into that tire barrier. Marshall Stanley now with coming up to 2 laps to go. He's going to have a shot to try and get to the back of Chad Frankenfield. But right now, Frankenfield has that defensive line on the inside of this racetrack, which has made it very, very difficult to overtake. You saw just how that ended for the 317 before. Marshall Stanley is going to have to be a little bit more careful to make sure that he doesn't have that same fate. He's got a championship here to worry about. He's going to go all the way to the top side. He's going to make a similar move. Is he going to get onto the grass? No, he's not. But Marshall Stanley almost gets close, and he's going to be right on the rear wing, the rear gearbox there of the 15 car, and he's looking to the outside, trying to see if he can make a move, but not quite yet. Chad Frankenfield still has the legs on this 25 car, but Marshall Stanley is looking. He is searching for a way past this 15 car. On that last lap, Marshall Stanley was 4/10 of a second faster than Chad Frankenfield. Probably with the help of the draft there through the final couple of corners, but he's going to want to try and be there once again. We're coming up to 1 lap to go. Dylan Christie, who's 7.5 seconds clear of this battle for second place, is about to cross the line for the Whiskey Cast. Last call, last lap. We're underway with just 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Whiskey Cast. There you see Marshall Stanley stays in the draft of Chad Frankenfield, not quite able to get to his rear wing, so he's going to need something magical in this infield section to be able to get the run off of the final corner to try and get Chad before the line. But here we go. I don't know if he's going to be able to quite get there, but we'll see what this 25 car can do. Chad Frankenfield has had a stout defense here, both from Alexander Vandersen and Marshall Stanley, and looks like it's going to net him a second position here as he has a solid enough exit here. Chad Frankenfield just one more corner really that he needs to focus on to get a good exit from, and he should be clear. And Marshall Stanley, I think, is just too far back here to really make a move. Chad Frankenfield will round the final corner to finish second, but it's race winner Dylan Christie, and there you see him. Wins this race by 7.75 seconds from Chad Frankenfield, who's going to beat Marshall Stanley by 0.3 of a second. Those two are your championship rivals. And there you go. That's the race finish there. Alexander Vandersen brings it home P4, Tom Holland P5, and Chris Wilhite P6. Your results are as follows. Ethan Reisner was not taking part in this particular event. So Trenton Walco is your final finisher there. He was unable to get going after the incident between him and Simon Sykes as they were duking it out for the lead. What a great first race there on the road course. And now we're getting ready to go to the oval. We'll be switching over there fairly soon. And so we will switch over pretty quickly and be back with you guys. So maybe just a couple minutes of a break here. But we'll be back shortly on the oval in the Indy Pro 2000 cars to get ready for the final race of this Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
Welcome back to the action here at Gateway. You'll see we've ticked over to the nighttime and we're on the oval, so a nice quick transition there. And we are getting ready to get this second race here underway. Gonna see if we can get those liveries to reload here nice and quick. But in the meantime, we're watching there as number 6 car of Simon Sykes get some laps in here, get some practice in. We'll look back also at the 317 of Alexander van der Sant. He's going to come out, run a couple laps here. It does say 42 minutes on warm-up on your screen, but don't worry about that. Once everybody from the original lobby has switched over, we should get right underway with qualifying and practice. I'm curious to see, as this is the first race this season we've had that has not had more than 10 cars on the field. I'm curious to see if we run qualifying here tonight, as that may be a potential, as we potentially may not be, as typically qualifying ignores the top 10 and has them inverted and sent to the back. Of course, only 9 cars in tonight's races means that the entire field should be inverted here. So we'll see what the stewards decide to do for that for the qualifying for this second race here tonight. Driver on screen right now is a 317 of Alexander van der Sant, was fighting for that second position in race number 1. Just missed it in turn 1 and ended up damaging his car. Ended up coming home P4 in the end, but only after encountering some pretty severe damage on that 317. He's ready to go racing on the oval, though, as is Simon Sykes, who was leading early on in race number 1 before an incident between himself and Trenton Walco in the 61 car took both of them out. Walco is yet to rejoin this particular session, so we'll see if we see that 61 car back in. But Simon Sykes already underway and putting some good laps in, putting himself first right now in the practice session. While we're waiting for cars, as they're running a little bit alone here on the racetrack right now, we've got a 2-car run here between Chad Frankenfield and the number 7 there of Chris Wilhite. These two are doing a little bit of draft running. We'll talk briefly about again our premier sponsor, C2 Freight Resources, and their EDI services. EDI standing for Electronic Data Interchange Services, which allows shippers to keep close electronic tabs on their shipments throughout the entire freight movement process. For more information, make sure you check out C2 Freight Resources, check out their website, or get in touch with them. They've been such a great partner to the Elite Racing Leagues, and offer some great resources for all of you watching at home for all of your freight needs. This battle going on in practice right now is pretty entertaining, and we want to see if what this race is really going to look like. Our car is going to be able to follow each other. Is Chad Frankenfield going to be able to get a run here on the 7 car of Chris Wilhite, or is he going to have to kind of ride around a little bit in the back? How much is this car affected by the aero wash that comes off of these? Obviously, the wings on these Indy Pro 2000 cars are pretty small, but they can make quite a difference in terms of getting aero wash or making it tricky to follow. But Chad Frankenfield getting right up close to the back of this 7 car, and there you see him making the pass. Makes me hope that things are going to be promising for tonight in terms of being able to overtake. You see, though, the 2 different lines here. Chad Frankenfield a little bit squarely on that bottom line. Not maybe the preferred one, as Chris Wilhite seemed much more comfortable on the top and gets back around the 15 car of Chad Frankenfield. Oop, as we've got a car flipped around there. There you see a big crash there. Simon Sykes and Chad Frankenfield come together. Thankfully, nobody harmed in the making of these practice sessions, as it's all virtual, but we are still waiting on Trenton Walco. Unsure if he'll be making this second race, as we've got 8 cars in this practice lobby. The 9th being Trenton Walco, who has not shown up from that original round. We'll wait and see if we still go to green. Update on the points championship. Chad Frankenfield by finishing that 1 point ahead, or 1 position ahead of Marshall Stanley. Sits just 19 points behind Marshall in the championship. The battle is very much between those two. Chad Frankenfield going to need to finish a couple of points ahead of Stanley in order to win this, though it's certainly all possible with the oval. A lot of action can happen here, just as we saw even on the road course. But here we go. The checkered flag is out for the warm-up. Cars are going to get ready to grid, or excuse me, we're going to have qualifying here briefly, and then we're going to get ready to grid. It's going to be one car qualifying here, as it's an oval track. Make sure people aren't benefiting from the draft, so we'll watch as your championship chaser, Chad Frankenfield, as he heads out onto the racetrack. We'll take a look and see what kind of lap can he put down. Can he out-qualify his championship rival? Does he have anything for the 6 car of Simon Sykes? Does anybody have anything for that 6 car of Simon Sykes? To the green flag, Chad Frankenfield underway with his first flying lap, first of 2 here. A lower line allows a shorter path around the track, but you want to make sure that you're not scrubbing off too much speed. So far looks pretty solid for that 15 car. We'll let you know when we have lap times on the board. We should have them coming in fairly soon. Chad Frankenfield will cross the line there with a 30.306. That'll throw him to second position on the lap charts. The leader right now, Marshall Stanley, with a 30.251. Simon Sykes, 30.827 on that first lap. Maybe still getting up to speed. We'll take a look. This second lap is where these guys can really lay down the gauntlet. It's a fairly short racetrack here, so you want to use as much time as you can to build up the speed. Chad Frankenfield around turn 4. What can he do as Chris Wilhite goes to the point with a 30 flat. Then Dylan Christie with a 29.993. Chad Frankenfield now goes to the pole position with a 29.947. Marshall Stanley with a 30 flat. Tom Holland with a 29.998. Simon Sykes looks like he might not have anything quite yet, but here we go. I think this is going to be his final lap run for this 6 car. He was first place in practice. What can Simon Sykes pull off as he crosses the line? To the lead, Simon Sykes grabs pole position away from Chad Frankenfield, taking away that bonus point that Chad was hoping and praying that he could get there, that pole position bonus point. So nothing quite yet there for Frankenfield, and I believe that should be it for qualifying, unless these guys are given some more laps to run. It seems like they might be actually here. Simon Sykes going for another lap. Same with Frankenfield, same with the entire field. So we might be seeing just a number of qualifying attempts by these drivers here, as Frankenfield closes the gap a little bit, but Simon Sykes extends it once again. It's 0.03 of a second the lead, as there you go. Now you see Simon Sykes pulls over to a halt. Tom Holland will also pull over to a halt. Marshall Stanley still with one last shot at the, one last shot at the pole position. No, he's gonna pull off. He's done for the day. So it looks like it's gonna be Simon Sykes, Tom Holland, and Chad Frankenfield, your top 3, with Marshall Stanley, Chris Wilhite, Dylan Christie, Tristan Wood, Alexander Vandersant, and Ethan Reisner making up the top 9. That's your grid for the final race here, as we should be expecting qualifying to finish up any second now. Tristan Wood and Ethan Reisner still on track, running a couple more laps here for those two in the 03 and the 86. We'll see as Tristan Wood, there you see he's done, finishes up that lap. Ethan Reisner might have one more lap. He wasn't part of the race last time around, but he will be filling in this race for the finale. We'll see what Reisner can do, currently running P9, some ways off the pack. We'll see, though, if he's able to pull it up to the line. He actually halts as Ethan Reisner's run is done there. Qualifying should be finishing up now. And there it is, checkered flag out. Simon Sykes on pole with Tom Holland and Chad Frankenfield, your top 3. The battle we want to look at, though, is between that 3rd place starter, Chad Frankenfield, and 5th place starter, Marshall Stanley. Will they be involved in this battle for the lead, and how will things go when fighting for this championship? There you see your pole sitter Simon Sykes lining up, getting ready to get going ahead of the rest of the field, waiting for the number 95 of Tom Holland to load in next to him. There we go. The pace truck should be heading off fairly soon now, with the entire field gridded up. And there you can see them all lined up. The number 6 of Simon Sykes on pole from the number 95 of Tom Holland. 15 car of Chad Frankenfield alongside the 317 of Alexander Vandersand. Then you've got the 25 of Marshall Stanley lined up alongside Chris Wilhite. The following row then is Dylan Christie in the 22 car lining up alongside the 03 of Tristan Wood, with Ethan Reisner filling up that last row. Should just be a single lap here of pacing as the lights are out on that pace truck. We should be getting ready to go straight away. 2 by 2, the field will come down, and we'll have a 40-lap race to finish off this season. Reminder, 19 points, the gap between Chad Frankenfield and Marshall Stanley. We will try to make sure that we get you the updated points there all throughout, and make sure that you guys know who the championship winner is at the very end of the night. Quick hello from Jacob Palmer in the comments section of the live chat. Jacob, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy to have you here tonight. Welcome. You're just in time for the excitement that is going to be this final 40-lap race at Gateway Motorsports Park on the oval in the Pro 2000 cars. Simon Sykes hits the gas, and looks like Alexander Vandersand hits Tom Holland on the restart, and Holland with damage to the rear of that car. Is he still running? He seems to be okay now, but looked like pretty significant damage to the rear suspension of that 95 car. I want to keep an eye out on him, but it's Simon Sykes still up in front from Chad Frankenfield and Marshall Stanley now. Vandersand getting involved in that incident fairly early. Want to keep an update and see what happens to that 95 car if they're coming down pit road, as Tom Holland is staying out. So maybe just some visual damage on my screen there when those two came together. Right now it looks like Tom Holland, that car is just fine. He's got some work to do to get back up the order. Dylan Christie working the inside of Alexander Vandersand. You see there just how slow it can be to go to the inside line, how much speed you can scrub, as he's now going to be susceptible to Chris Wilhite getting past. And meanwhile, further up, it's Alexander Vandersand getting past Marshall Stanley as the battle for the lead is heating up as well between Chad Frankenfield and Simon Sykes. Vandersand is going to stay on the inside, but here you go, battle for the lead. Simon Sykes on the outside, Chad Frankenfield to the inside. Frankenfield's going to have that not-so-preferred line, but he dives it in there, and Chad Frankenfield to the point. He knows he's got to lead this race and win this race if he wants to win this championship from Marshall Stanley, so he's doing just that right now, but it's not over yet. Look at Simon Sykes following in the draft there of that 15 car. He's not keen to let him get too far away here, as they're still side by side further back between Vandersand and Marshall Stanley and Chris Wilhite involved in that battle as well for second place. You've got a tight quarters battles right now here, too wide for third position between Stanley and Wilhite. Vandersand defends to the inside as Marshall Stanley now looks to the outside. Can he sweep around? You've got this turns 3 and 4 favors maybe a little bit of a flatter corner here, a wider corner for these guys to work with. You can carry a little bit more momentum on that top side, as there you see Marshall Stanley dives it to the bottom. He's going to go for a move on the bottom of turn 1. If he can clear, he can then create a nice wide arc for himself to use there to stay ahead of Alexander Vandersand. But you can see there that the move still works. You've got 2 proper racing lines going on here, and Alexander Vandersand still able to keep up with this 25 car on the outside, and actually slowed the 25 car enough almost to make him susceptible to this 7 car, and he is, as Chris Wilhite now looking to the outside of the 25 car for the 3rd position. or excuse me, the 4th position. Meanwhile, for the lead, Simon Sykes dives to the inside of Chad Frankenfield. He's going to get to him, but Chad Frankenfield with the run off the corner, he's now going to have the over-under now onto the inside of Simon Sykes for the lead. What a battle we've got going on here. What great racing that Gateway has been putting on in these race cars. Simon Sykes hangs around the outside. He should have the speed off the corner to challenge Chad Frankenfield, as Frankenfield wasn't able to use the entire racetrack. And here we go, as now Alexander Vandersant has joined in this battle for the lead. This top 5 battle is all going on, and here we go. Simon Sykes once again gets the over-under on Chad Frankenfield, gets a better exit off of 1. If he can get the run through 3 and 4, he could potentially clear this 15 car, and looks like he might there, as Chad Frankenfield forced to get back in line, but he might get the run here. But he's now got to be worried about Vandersant, who's on his inside, and they're going to go 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Vandersant decides better of it. He's going to back out, and it's still going to be Simon Sykes on the middle, Chad Frankenfield on the top. Frankenfield now with the run on the high side. He should go back down to the inside. And here we go once again between Chad Frankenfield and Simon Sykes. What great battling this is. Meanwhile, Chris Wilhite, Alexander Vandersant, and Marshall Stanley are happy just kind of hanging around and watching as this battle takes place. And Dylan Christie is closing in as well. Chad Frankenfield a nose ahead of Simon Sykes off of turn 4, stays there, but Simon Sykes now with that extra speed on the top side. Chad Frankenfield will clear him, but Sykes should have the pace off of this corner, but there you see the defensive move by Chad Frankenfield to the inside. But does this now favor potentially Simon Sykes? He's now got that almost preferred outside line. It should give him the exit that he wants from turns 3 and 4, assuming Chad Frankenfield can't clear him, and I don't think Frankenfield can. So here we go. Here comes the run from the 6th car of Simon Sykes. He's a nose ahead at the line, and that's how you want to do it at the very end of this race. Simon Sykes stays on that top side, stays in that 2nd lane, and here we go. Once again, Frankenfield not able to clear him, so it should be a run in favor of Simon Sykes. He's got the long way around in the corners, but he's got that extra speed carrying off of turns 2 and turns 4. Chad Frankenfield, though, diving it down to the bottom and holding his line tight, making sure he's taking the shortest route around this racetrack and keeping it and making it difficult for Simon Sykes to get by. We've got the 2x2 here. I mean, heck, we were just at Daytona in the Cup cars, and we had some 2x2 racing there all the way through, but this is certainly a bit of different action there when you get to these Pro Indy 2000 cars. As Chad Frankenfield still side by side with Simon Sykes for the lead. Chris Wilhite in 2nd, Vandersant in 4th. That's, oh, there you see Dylan Christie around as the caution comes out. Dylan Christie hard into the wall there. Contact. We'll take a look at the iRace Online replay here and see what exactly happened to that 22 car. Here we go. We've got this tight pack heading into turn 2. You got Tom Holland heading into the corner. Looks like maybe a combination of the two going up and going down on each other. We'll have to see what the stewards call that as in terms of a whether or not that's a racing deal or if that's on the 95 or 22. But for the 22, looks like his day might be over now. The question is, do these cars come in for tires? 12 laps done. How much has that worn the tires? How how important are tires for these guys in terms of getting to the end? How important is fuel as well to getting to the end of this race? While we're under caution, we'll take a quick ad break back to Richmar Florist, and we'll be back with you guys in just a minute.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
Welcome back. Thank you to Richmar Florist for being a premier sponsor of the Elite Racing Leagues. Happy to have them and C2 Freight Resources on board with us for this entire year. It's going to be exciting, and of course we're going to be bringing you all that action right here on the Elite Racing Network. For those of you tuning in, thank you all so much for joining us on this Friday night. We know you've got many other options for Friday night. In terms of motorsport, we're getting the regular season underway, regular racing season back underway, and looking forward to all of that. There's, of course, the NASCAR Trucks race going on right now, getting that season underway at Daytona. Though we're finishing things off here in the Road to Indy Series in this Elite Racing Leagues. The lights still on that pace truck. We're going to be going around for at least 2 more times around this racetrack. Dylan Christie on pit road with some significant damage. Looks like his day may be over. And Ethan Reisner on pit road as well, showing him on pit lane. The battle has been exciting up front so far between Chad Frankfield, Simon Sykes, and don't count out the likes of Chris Wilhite, Alexander Vanderstant, and Marshall Stanley, as well as Tom Holland. All of these guys very much in the fight for the win here tonight. We're just running lap 14 of 40 here tonight. Hopefully, it'll be green flag running all the way from here to the end, but aggressive racing can bring out these caution flags. These guys want this win. They want to end this racing season on a high and get themselves with the best momentum heading into the IndyCar Series. Regarding the IndyCar Series, that'll be getting underway very, very soon. Just look forward to it next week on Friday, February the 19th. We'll be getting underway at Homestead Miami Speedway for a 200-lap event, the McConey Setup Shop 300. Looking forward to that. Myself and Mark Gillespie will be your commentators in the booth for that event. We'll have many of these drivers here in the Road to Indy joining us once again. So it's going to be just some great racing. The whole IndyCar Series schedule looks fantastic. We, of course, start the season at Homestead Miami Speedway. Then the following week, we'll head over to Long Beach Street Circuit. That's going to be one heck of an event there. First race we're going to have on Long Beach, followed by a race at Michigan International, the US 500, a 250-lap, our first 500-mile race. Then we'll have the Milwaukee Mile, the Bird 250, followed by the Bird Mid-Ohio 200 at, of course, the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And then Phoenix Raceway Oval, Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, and, of course, the Indy 500. Finishing off the season, we'll have the Texas Motor Speedway Oval, and then, of course, coming back to Worldwide Technology Raceway. But right now, we've got a championship to decide. Here in the Road to Indy Series, it's green flag back out once again. Chad Frankenfield with the jump on Simon Sykes. Lap 15 of 40, or excuse me, lap 16 of 40 underway. We're done with that first caution there, and as we see cars coming very close to the wall there off of turn 2, guys are already going hard into this first race. You've got, there you see Marshall Stanley fighting it out with Alexander Vanderstant. Marshall Stanley needs to be in the right position here to take advantage of the situation. If Chad Frankenfield is the victor here, Marshall Stanley needs to score as many points as possible, so as not to lose the advantage he currently has over that 15 car. But right now he's hanging out back watching this battle between the 7 and the 317 of Chris Wilhite and Alexander Vanderstant going at it for the third position. Simon Sykes, meanwhile, has some work to do to get back to the rear, I'm thinking rear bumper. I've been covering NASCAR for too long. Getting back to the gearbox of this 15 car. As he right now has to deal with Chris Wilhite, who's trying to get by, and if these two start fighting it out, that's a perfect situation for Chad Frankenfield, who may be able to just stretch his gap out a little bit. Right now, Sykes needs to get back into the draft of Chad Frankenfield. However, Sykes will not be doing that. It's Chris Wilhite with a beautiful move down the inside, slides on past Simon Sykes. Looks like almost like Sykes might have let him by there. That was a very strange move there, as Sykes just didn't seem to have anywhere near the same pace down the straightaway as Chris Wilhite. And Wilhite now with a chance to go after the leader, Chad Frankenfield, as it looks like Simon Sykes doesn't quite have anything for the 7 car yet. He is going to try and use this draft, and you see these guys, all 3 in line, trying to stay with each other just to draft right back up to this leader. So you've got a 5-way battle once again for the lead. But right now, it's still a significant advantage to Chad Frankenfield, half a second still in front. So that's closing fairly quickly as Simon Sykes, though, has to deal with Alexander Vandersand going for a move on the outside here. He's going to have the momentum off of turn 2. And here we go, Alexander Vandersand to third position behind Chris Wilhite and Chad Frankenfield now. So Simon Sykes maybe just allowing it to roll around for a little bit for a few laps here. As the field has now pretty much closed up to the back of this 15 car. Chris Wilhite will soon have a chance to go for an overtake on Chad Frankenfield, and that soon may be this lap as he looks for it into turns 1 and 2. He doesn't quite get there, maybe checks up a little bit through turn 1 and 2, and that gives Frankenfield the advantage he needs again. But look out for next time around, turn 1 and 2. Chad Frankenfield may be under attack by Chris Wilhite, as Wilhite is right there on his gearbox. Through 3 and 4, he's going for the higher line, trying to get the momentum off the corner. And here we go. What can this 7 car do? What can any of these cars do? We've got a 5-way battle for the lead once again. Chris Wilhite to the inside of turn number 1. Not quite clear there of the 15 car, and you'll see how that checks him up and may even let Alexander Vandersand back pass, but Chad Frankenfield back in a comfortable position, and that may let him arc this corner beautifully here as he'll go down to the bottom and then be able to go straight back up to the top. Vandersand's going to try for a move around the outside again of Chris Wilhite. He's going to get there now. Does he have the run on Frankenfield? He's clear of Chris Wilhite, and now Vandersand to the bottom. Can anybody get past Chad Frankenfield? We've seen guys struggle all night to do it, but Vandersand with a great move, he gets it done, but Frankenfield has the momentum off of turn 2, and he's going to have the inside line for 3 and 4. Meanwhile, we've still got this battle going on for the second position, but Frankenfield, Vandersand going at it, and we've got them 2, almost 3 wide there for third position. Frankenfield on the outside now, this time from Vandersand. Vandersand on the inside as we've got a caution flag, I think, for the 22 car of Dylan Christie once again. He seems to be slow on the racetrack. Not quite sure what happened there with the 22. He seems stopped there. That might have brought out the flag. We'll take a look. We'll go to the iRace Online replay and see what exactly happened. And it might have been actually just that, where you'll see Dylan Christie here. He'll pass that blue cone, I think, and officially will be classified as on the racetrack, which is where he'll stop. I don't know. He stopped before that blue cone. Not sure if that's how the caution flag comes out, but didn't see any other cars caught up in an incident there. So it looks like Dylan Christie the cause of that caution once again. But Alexander Vandersand was ahead of Chad Frankenfield when the caution flag came out. So right now, advantage through that 317 car, and we saw how many laps it took for the field to catch up to Frankenfield again after that strong restart he had. So potentially advantageous for Alexander Vandersand. We're going to just head out for a little bit here. I'm going to go grab a quick drink of water. We'll be back before we get back to green flag racing. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight for the final races of the Road to Indy Series. back to the action here at the Gateway Motorsports Park. You're watching the back, the gearbox camera here of Alexander Vandersand as he's warming up his tires, getting ready for us to get back to green flag racing. The lights should be out on the pace truck now, and there they go. We'll have one more lap here. The drivers will get lined up, and we should have a 12 or so lap shootout here to the finish. We saw the chaos that ensued earlier in this race. There's a lot more on the line right now. The gap between Chad Frankenfield and Marshall Stanley, where they're standing right now, is 17 points. So Frankenfield's gonna have to do a little bit more to grab this championship away from Marshall Stanley. Both drivers, of course, still should be commended for their seasons. Both of them have driven great seasons up to this point. Lights out on that pace truck. We should see the huge advantage that the pole sitter has at these racetracks with Van der Sant, but we'll take a look and see just how well Frankenfield is able to react to the launch that Van der Sant had, because it could also be that Sykes didn't quite react as quickly to the launch of Frankenfield. Also look out for that number 22 car, who is restarting in the middle of a lot of these lead drivers in that third position in line. He's going to be potentially involved as, here we go, Van der Sant hits the loud pedal. He's going to get clear and lead the field back to green. We're starting lap 29. Frankenfield doesn't quite let him run away, though, and it could be a two-car fight right now as the rest of the field has to try and get past Dylan Christie in that 22 car. Van der Sant goes a little bit wide. Is that going to hurt his run off the corner? It will. Frankenfield already with a shot to the inside on lap 29. As the caution is back out, it's the 0-3 of Tristan Wood involved this time. You see there big damage on that car. We'll head back to the replay. Reminder that there should not be any kinds of green-white checkers in this race series. Tristan Wood gets a little bit loose there, and looks like it might have just been net code there with the number 6 car, and then a hard hit to that outside wall here at Gateway. And Tristan Wood is going to be done for the night. He moves that car back to pit road. An unfortunate ending for the 0-3 there. We're back under caution, though, and unfortunately here at Gateway, these cautions can be pretty long. So hopefully no more tonight. If you look over at the cautions menu, you can see there are 8 laps under caution and just 2 caution flags so far. This is the third one here tonight. We'll be going through some more. So it's we spend 4 laps here, slowly trundling around at caution speed. So apologies that there's not too much excitement there with these taking so long. But we should be bringing you guys back to some nice clean action when we go back to green flag racing. And with that, we will. Man, I was hoping we could potentially bring in some guys that we've got hanging out here, but unfortunately no drivers in any of the driver chats yet. So right now it's just going to be a situation of just sitting here and talking about the season we've had so far, really. And it's been a pretty exciting one to date. Let me go pull up all of the information just to make sure that I don't get anything too wrong. But started out on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Had 2 races out there. First one won, of course, by Simon Sykes, with the second one won by R.C. Enerson. That one, I believe I actually even took part in that back when I was a driver running in the series, and there you see, actually, yep, ended up P4 in that first race there. Then we moved over to the Freedom 50 and Freedom 75. That, I believe, was during our original month of May there, with the Freedom 50 won by Marshall Stanley, your current championship leader, and the Freedom 75 won by Robert McGinnis. Then we had 2 races at Watkins Glen International, 12-lap races there. The first one won by Anders Krohn with Chris Wilhite on the pole, and then Chris Wilhite hit back and won race number 2 after Connor Daly grabbed the pole for that second race. Then, of course, we started it up here on the Elite Racing Network. We brought the races at Barber Motorsports Park to you, myself, Mark Gillespie, and, of course, Rob Howden. That first race dominated by R.C. Enerson, and then the second one with Robert Wickens coming in and picking up the pieces from the Turn 3 Motorsports drivers all coming together. Long Beach, of course, 2 weeks ago, that was Will Power dominated in that first race, with Simon Sykes then coming back to win in race number 2, and then at Mid-Ohio just 2 weeks ago, as we had that 1 week break in between. Peter Dempsey getting the job done there, and James Davison winning race number 2. And then, of course, here tonight on the road course, it was Dylan Christie with a dominant victory over Chad Frankenfield and Marshall Stanley in second and third there. Those two who are fighting it out for this championship are right now close together on track, as you've got Chad Frankenfield in the lead, but Stanley in fourth. I don't believe that's enough for Frankenfield to swing the momentum back in his direction to win this championship. Frankenfield actually does not have a win yet this season, so right now he's looking to grab that first win in this Road to Indy Series. It's been a very, very stout field that we've had. I mean, just listing off some of the names we had there for race winners, a number of pro drivers involved in this series, and it's been great having them join us. This pandemic, if it's been good for one thing, it's been the sim racing community coming together with the pro racing community, and seeing how much that's grown, and how much the viewership on sim racing has grown. So obviously a big thank you to all of those pro drivers who have helped bring eyes to these series and continue to do so. But at the end of the day, we've got two of our sim drivers, Marshall Stanley and Chad Frankenfield, leading the way in this championship with a chance to win a Road to Indy Series title. Last time we ran this series, it was that 61 car of Trenton Walco who was your championship winner, ahead of Brian Blauman and Chad Frankenfield. That series was 8 races long and had not as many oval races. We had 2 races at the Lucas Oil, we had 1 race at Lucas Oil Oval and the other at Worldwide Technology, like we have here tonight. But still, I mean, we've had some great racing, a expanded calendar, an expanded entry list. We're hoping that we're about to hit the green flag for the final time here in this season. Chad Frankenfield hits the loud pedal early, and he's going to reach the green flag with 34 laps complete, 33 laps complete, running lap 34 of 40. You can see that huge gap that Alexander Vandersant wasn't quite able to capitalize on Frankenfield's restart like Vandersant was on, like Frankenfield was on Vandersant's restart. But here you go, already trying to use that draft to close back into the gap. All you have to do is lead for that single lap on lap number 40, and obviously survive to that end point. Potentially, if we go yellow within the next couple of laps, we could see this race end under yellow flag. Simon Sykes looks for the inside move there on Marshall Stanley, but Marshall Stanley with an aggressive cutback, that's Chris Wilhite with an aggressive cutback on Simon Sykes. He goes to the inside line. Marshall Stanley right now behind that 6 car, right now fighting for the 5th position. This battle all going on for the 3rd. Meanwhile, Vandersant half a second back from Frankenfield. He's got to get some work done if he wants to try and beat this 15 car. That battle, though, for 3rd position is very much heating up, as there you see Simon Sykes leading the way, but closely behind, it's Chris Wilhite and Marshall Stanley. Stanley, unfortunately, not quite familiar with the point system we've got here in this series. Stanley, I'm not sure where he needs to be to ensure that he's got this championship if Chad Frankenfield wins, but I'm sure he just wants to get past as many cars as he can without taking too many unnecessary risks. But here we go, to the outside line on Chris Wilhite. Marshall Stanley's going to look for it. Can he get there? No, he can't. Chris Wilhite will defend on that outside line, but Marshall Stanley goes even higher. Can he get the run off of 2 and go for the over-under maneuver on Chris Wilhite? No, Wilhite defends to the inside, and Stanley tries again for the outside. They're 3 wide heading into turn 2. Meanwhile, the battle up front is heating up, as here we go. Alexander Vandersant is onto the tail of Chad Frankenfield. A little bit wider exit there, but 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go now. Vandersant is very much in contention for this lead. It's going to be the 317 or the 15 car at the end here. Assuming it stays green here, what can Vandersant do? Can he get the run that he needs off of turn 2 or turn 4 to pass this 15 car, and can he make it stick, more importantly? Vandersant picked that higher line around turns 3 and 4. He's going to try and get the run off of 4 here, see if that gives him enough momentum. He's going to look low, and that's now going to allow him to come side by side with the 15 car. Can he clear Chad Frankenfield? He can, but Frankenfield's going to have that later exit off of the corner. That should give him the run off of 2, and Frankenfield should have the advantage right now, but not quite able to get side by side with Vandersant. Could this be advantage Vandersant? But Chad Frankenfield dives it in deep into turn 3 and 4. He's now ahead. Vandersant has to back off. He's going to have to try and reuse that run that he had on the first lap, and there you can see what that finish could look like right there as we come to the Whiskey Cast. 1 to go. This is the final lap of the season. Alexander Vandersant leads from Chad Frankenfield, but Frankenfield with the undercut move. Can he make it stick? No, not quite. Frankenfield still behind the gearbox of Vandersant. Vandersant's going to have to throw it into 3 and 4 if he wants to prevent Chad Frankenfield from making this pass. Here we go. Frankenfield, though, he gets clear. Can Vandersant get past? Does he have the momentum to pass Chad Frankenfield? It's going to be neck and neck. It's going to be Vandersant who wins at the line from Chad Frankenfield, is it? No, it's Chad Frankenfield who wins by 1,000th of a second. 1,000th. I thought it was Vandersant who crossed first. But timing and scoring showing us Chad Frankenfield in first position. We've got to watch a replay of that, and I want to see just how close that really was at the line. Oh my word, what a great finish to this season. What a great finish by these two drivers here. And let's take a look at this camera angle and see what exactly that looked like. Here we go. Let's take a look. Vandersant, Chad Frankenfield, side by side across the line. That looked like Vandersant to me. But man, oh man, that's your finish right there. We could even try and knock it back a couple of frames there. But it is victory lane for Chad Frankenfield. Simon Sykes getting some end of season celebrations. It is Marshall Stanley, though. He makes the pass for third, and I think that's enough for Marshall Stanley to win this championship. So here you go. Chad Frankenfield grabs the win at the buzzer, but it's still not quite enough. I think Marshall Stanley will be your champion here in the 2020-2021 Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series. I'm going to wait on race officials to give me the confirmation of who our champion is. We'll take a look. I think that third place finish was enough for Marshall Stanley. Still an absolutely fantastic finish between Chad Frankenfield and Alexander Vandersant. You want to watch a fantastic finish to a Road to Indy oval race, or I mean, proof that these open wheel cars belong on these ovals. Just watch this race. Fantastic battling all throughout the field, and that battle for the lead was unrivaled. Just quickly awaiting any kind of word from race stewards to see what the final score is in terms of season points. We'll be finishing things off there. They should be updated here, and by just 2 points, Marshall Stanley does enough to win the 2020-2021 Road to Indy Series. 2 points the gap between himself and Chad Frankenfield at the very end. Chris Wilhite brings it home to grab that third position in the championship. Man, oh man, how close that was. What a fantastic drive by Marshall Stanley to get that job done. Beautiful season by him. And yeah, just a fantastic drive. Marshall Stanley then, your 2020, your Season 2 Road to Indy champion. Man, oh man, I don't know if we'll have any drivers joining us here after the race tonight. But it has been an absolute pleasure bringing you guys all this action from this season, or at least half of this season on the Elite Racing Network of the Mega Driver 86 Road to Indy Series. Make sure you guys are tuning in same time next week, so Friday night next week, because we're going to get ready to go IndyCar racing. We mentioned it in the show, Homestead Miami Speedway. Things are going to start spicing up there. We're going to have a full field of, we expect to see 33 drivers there lining up for that race, qualifying in. It's going to be just a fantastic season as a whole. But first of all, big congratulations to Marshall Stanley on his championship, and of course, congratulations to Chad Frankenfield on his victory. Both those guys going in with great momentum into the IndyCar season. Want to thank you all so much for tuning in once again to the Elite Racing Networks here on this Friday night. It's been just myself, Rishabh Khosla, in the booth with you guys. I'll have Mark Gillespie back with me for the IndyCar season when we get started next Friday. But with that being said, that's all from me tonight. We want to thank our premier sponsors, C2 Freight Resources and Rich Mar Florist, as well as Elite Racing Leagues for helping us keep doing all this stuff, and of course, putting on some amazing events for us to cover up here in the booth. With that, I wish you all a good night. Our florist, as well as Elite Racing Leagues, for helping us keep doing all this stuff, and of course, putting on some amazing events for us to cover up here in the booth. With that, I wish you all a good night.